Everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 58, and today's date is, August 17th, 2020. It's getting late in the year.
Yeah, it is.
I'm Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
First, I'm going to start with, this podcast is not going as planned. Me and Jimbo are kind of making things up on the fly. We were supposed to have a guest, and that fell through. So, sorry. You guys probably aren't getting a pre-show and post-show for the Patreon listeners. We'll make that up somehow for you. Again, sorry. This is the last day we could record this, because Carl needs a day in between to edit, so we're rushing to kind of get some stuff done.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah. But this week, I built a mountain. Quite literally built a mountain. And
it's a big week.
It looks good. I can't complain. You definitely helped. You donated 3 shulker boxes, and half a shulker box went to finishing one side of the mountain.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see your stream where you started on it, but I did get to see it, when I dropped off some stone. So, it's looking good.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what it looks like when it's done.
I'm at that point now, so I've had this design in my head for months. And the thing is, I've had the design separate. So here's what the storage area is going to look like. Here's what the center of the mountain is going to look like. Here's what the exterior of the mountain is going to look like. Here's what the entrance is going to look like. But now I'm at the point now where I've got to piece all those images in my head together. And it's kind of slowing me down a little bit, because it's like, okay, I want the entrance to look like this. That means I need to know what level I want to put the storage room at. Oh, you want to do the center of the mountain like this? So you need to think about, well, how high is your entrance? It's a bunch of puzzle pieces I have to stitch together. But once I start stitching, it'll hopefully go super quick.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we've done a lot of podcasting this week. Think about it. We've done 3 episodes in a week.
Yeah, actually we did.
And whenever we do that many episodes, I get distracted and slowed down. Basically, every day we do an episode is a day I can't work on the ripple effect, because that's how such little time I have. So, yeah, sorry, the episode will hopefully come out this week. That's the plan. I'm over halfway done with it. I just need the time to sit down and knock it out. But what about you? What have you been working on this week?
Well, actually, I have been a little bit behind on my episode making. I was able to get my episode out on Saturday, but I didn't edit it all the way till Friday night. That's like one of the first times that's happened to me, where I'm that far behind.
Mm-hmm.
But I went and recorded yesterday me starting on my witch farm, and I think I got enough content to do an episode out of it in one day. And that's the beauty about projects like that, like a witch farm.
Mm-hmm.
You can get that kind of content, especially the one I'm building where I have to go get hoglins to kill the witches for me, or at least to get them off the platform.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty entertaining. It's enough content for the whole video. Should be. I think I'm actually going through and cutting stuff out now because it's too long.
Yeah.
So that helps when you get one of those days where, you can actually make a video out of recording once. Doesn't happen too often, though.
What I wouldn't give for one of those.
Yeah. Besides that, before the witch hut, I had to clear out a ton of land. And originally I was going to place dispensers with TNT everywhere, like all over the place, in the sky, to where it drops down and clears everything. But then I was thinking about the resources, and I'm like, okay, we'll do TNT dupers above certain, in like a grid to knock it all down.
Mm-hmm.
The resources, not just the TNT, but the slime blocks. These are going to be 5 blocks apart. There's no way.
Yeah.
With all that area I have to take out, I was going to do that. So I decided to go with the flying TNT dupers, and man, was it easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy. Once you build one, you just fly right through it. And I did it in like stations of 4. So it wasn't lagging anybody out, or, it wasn't giving the server a hard time. So I would just send down 4 machines, and on the way back, that's when the TNT would duplicate on the way up, it wouldn't do anything. So his real easy process back and forth as it was coming back. When it wasn't dropping any TNT, I could go through, jump down, take out the water, whatever. The only hard part is clearing the lava.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever made a perimeter, lava is a pain and really, really makes me want lava sponges.
I was going to say, you don't have lava sponges.
No, but man, those would have came in handy. I pretty much did it with gravel and some stone. You know, once you put stone or gravel inside the lava source, it will disappear. And then you can just mine it all away. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I managed to get it all done. It's been a pretty grindy week, but like I said, you know, with the flying TNT dupers, it made it so much easier. Yeah, that was about it. The witch farm is up, and you'll have to wait for my episode to see how it goes. But it should be pretty entertaining. I'm excited to show you guys.
Yeah. Last thing I want to put on my mountain is the mountain's not done. It's just in place. I still have to texture the entire thing, which is daunting when you think about it. I was thinking like how I should do this, and I think I'm just going to break it up in sections and be like, okay, today I'm going to spend 30 minutes texturing this section and then move on to something else so it doesn't kill me. And I know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to get going and I'm going to do 2 or 3 sections at a time. And I'd be like, oh, I should just keep going. And I'm going to spend 2 days texturing that mountain and it's going to burn me out and I'm not going to want to do it anymore.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. I did a lot of my texturing on stream. Whenever I had a stream, it was always something that I could do, you know, because the mountain was so big. And I imagine you're going to have quite a few of them around. You're going to be doing that for a while, too.
And the plan is to stream more. It's finding the time. Like I wanted to stream at least once last week, but we recorded 3 times last week. Well, 2 times and then now today. So I couldn't find that spot. Every time I had free time, it's like, well, I need to hunker down motorcycle, just knock out a bunch of work. And it still put me over a week behind. It's just like, oh no. I have some stuff to knock out for the end of this episode. And then hopefully at some point this week, maybe Thursday, I'll be able to do some live streaming. So I'll do some Thursday and then I'll do my normal Saturday. It should be good.
Yeah, I was going to consider doing a live stream, but I don't know. Still on the fence about live streaming. You know, I'll do it occasionally, but I don't know if I'm going to have a schedule.
Well, I have the one Saturday schedule, which I really like because generally I get active members in chat Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And that always helps live streaming. Live streaming stinks when you get just people sitting there. And yeah, it's great to have people watching and stuff, but it's really hard when you're the only one talking.
Yeah.
That's why you see, if you go back to my earlier stuff, it was always me and Bank because it was easier to live stream with a different person to talk to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's another thing about streaming. We know a lot of people from around the world. You know, most of them we play Minecraft with, and you got to find a perfect time for that.
That too.
Late at night here, you know, most of the people in Europe, they probably won't be able to get to watch. It's late there. Saturday morning's a pretty good time. You know, because people are off in the U.S. early, and you have your UK audience also.
Yeah, I do 10:30 in the morning, so usually West Coast is just waking up. East Coast has already woken up, and if they don't have anything to do, they can sit and watch.
They should have a coffee within them at that point.
Yeah,
but
yeah, Europe's going on lunch break, so it's kind of a good time.
I like mornings. I don't mind mornings, doing streams early.
Yeah, I was going to say, every time we do the stream day, you get, like, usually you're one of the first ones up. Like, a 6 a.m. recording, and it's just like, dude, how do you do it?
Oh, I don't mind. I like the mornings. I feel like I'm more ready to go after sleep, even though I don't take long sleeps. I could sleep 5 hours and be fine. I'll be good to go.
I'm over here yawning already just thinking about that. Should we go ahead and get to the news?
Yeah.
I'll let you do your news first, since it's more Minecraft related than mine.
Yeah, I was going to cover the combat changes this week. Last week they had some changes, and they took some things out and also added a few others. Here they are. These are the ones that I've just made a note of. Charged attacks give you extra reach and sweeping edge ability. Bows no longer shake when held too long to make for an inaccurate shot. Interruptions while eating is removed. Many shield changes, including no cooldown against swords, and no damage from creeper blasts. That might have been a thing before where we weren't too sure about it, but I know for sure now you will not get hurt from a creeper blast with your shield up.
Mm-hmm.
And stackable potions. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to cover combat changes more in the news. So we just kind of read them out and we'll cover them as the main topic. I don't know why I said news again. I'm being distracted because I don't know if it's going to come through the mic, but the motorcycles are just ripping and roaring right behind my head.
You want to go over these later?
Yeah, let's just go over that later because we're going to put in our own combat changes for the topic this week.
Well, I thought we were going to do the top 5s.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Oh my. See, this is how messed up we are. Like, all day we were like, are we going to get to do the show? Are we going to get to do the show? We better have a backup to do the show. And then 10 minutes before we start recording, it's like, okay, that backup, we're going to ditch that. We're going to do this. Let's talk about our combat changes real quick because we didn't have a ton.
Okay.
I want to throw out there the bow shaking when held too long. I want that in the game. I want that so bad.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Now, I'm okay with making the hold length longer before it starts happening. Sure, 8 to 10 seconds might be a little bit better.
That's long enough. Like I said, I shoot a bow, a long bow, which is a traditional bow. And you're holding back a lot of weight when you pull back that string. And eventually you will shake and become inaccurate. You can't anchor that arrow forever. So it was a great change. It really separated the bow from the crossbow too. That was the best part about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about that change. That was the first thing I was going to talk about too.
To me, it almost felt a bit like when 1.9 happened, all the backlash. Kind of like, oh, we're going to get backlash for changing the bow and arrow, kind of like how they changed the sword attack.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to deal with that backlash again, so they reverted it. It's like, no, put that in the game. You guys were going in the right direction with 1.9. Yep. It just needs fine-tuning. You're now fine-tuning it. Go with it. Like, I really want this because it separates the crossbow, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Because as of right now, I've yet to use a crossbow.
Yeah, me neither.
I think I had one. I think I shot one 2 or 3 times and said, why would I switch my bow out for this? The bow is still way better.
It's stronger. It's more, I wouldn't say more accurate because it's not. Sometimes it's a little random, but I don't know. I feel like it's way easier. You can put infinity on it. But yeah, that would definitely make you think about considering the crossbow if you don't have those inaccurate shots.
I mean, think about it. You might want to carry both the bow and crossbow on you in case maybe like, oh man, I can't get it with the bow because this thing keeps moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Switch to your crossbow. Now you can track whatever you're trying to shoot and then fire.
Yeah, that's a good point. You might want both.
Maybe your bow has infinity and your crossbow has mending. So at least you're kind of covered on that too. I don't know what enchantments really the crossbow has. It has like piercing, right? I don't even know what that does.
It goes through enemies. Like if there's enemies behind the enemy you're shooting, it'll shoot behind enemies, shoot through enemies. Like it'll pierce 3 enemies in a row if they're in a line.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't want that. I don't think that's useful in any way. Well, they had multi-shot, didn't they?
Yeah, where it shoots 3. Then there's quick charge, which allows you to, what is it? Dock your arrow? What am I trying to say? Reload? Yeah, there you go.
I would like to see firework rocket arrows add a stun ability. So if you were to fire that and it would cause any damage to the mob, maybe it freezes the mob for 2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So if you're fighting a huge horde of mobs and you just fire that real quick, it stuns them and gives you enough time to either get away or get a better position to attack.
Yeah, that'd be a good addition. I was also wishing for some TNT arrows.
Yes.
When I was doing the those flying TNT machines.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's always blocks they're going to miss that are just floating around. If I had TNT arrows, I could just shoot those blocks out of the sky or out of the air. That would have been a lot of fun, but we don't have those.
I agree, though. That would be really cool.
I do like these stackable potions, though.
I do, too. I know there were some complaints about it, but I think any kind of stuff like that helps clean up the inventory. I'm for it.
Yep. I knew you'd be happy about that. And you can't stack them within the brewer, so that's no issue. You just stack them.
Yeah.
Stack them within your inventory. I think they stack 16s, I believe. Helps your inventory.
Inventory management's where it's got to be here soon. We're getting so much new stuff, and all of it's awesome. Gotta have some way to sort and control it.
Like a lot of stuff, just like the potions, they might be heading this direction. How the potions weren't stackable, and now they're stackable. Maybe eventually we'll get stackable mine carts or stackable boats.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that aren't stackable. Why? Like, I don't see why you can't stack them.
I was going to sit there and be like, you know what? It makes sense not to have stackable minecarts. And then I went, you're carrying a minecart in your pocket. It doesn't make sense to start with. So it's like, you know what? Give me some stackable minecarts and boats.
Mm-hmm. Like, I can understand, like, shields or not, even shields, but armor, weapons. You can't stack those because of their durabilities. If there's different durabilities, they're separate items, so you can't stack those. But items that don't have durability, maybe they'll consider stacking them.
Yeah. But other than that, the other news we have this week is Minecraft Dungeons getting another DLC. It releases September 8th. And the gist of the DLC is the Creeping Winter DLC brings a wintry storm that threatens to consume all it touches. The only chance of halting the biting frost.
Ooh.
I was going to say bittering frost. I was like, that's not a word. The biting frost is for a hero to take on new missions and relentless new enemies. Since no good deed goes unrewarded, let's say it's finders keepers on all new armor, weapons, and artifacts you run into along the way. Just watch out for chilling new mobs and slippery ice on your way to save the day.
They get new armor and weapons and artifacts.
Yeah.
They get all kind of good stuff.
I still haven't bought this game.
Yeah, me neither.
If it goes on sale on Twitch, or not Twitch, but Switch, I might pick it up because I want more games for my Switch. As of right now, I have Breath of the Wild and The Witcher 3. And I barely play The Witcher 3 because it was really not optimized for the Switch. Minecraft makes me sick to my stomach, so does The Witcher 3. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but when you get into crowded areas with a lot of stuff going on, you get a lot of frame drop, and it hurts.
Yeah, I played Pokemon on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
My son has it. It's a lot of fun, but that's it. Oh, a little bit of Mario Kart, but no, I haven't played Minecraft on there.
No, I thought about getting Animal Crossings, but I watched my roommate get that, and he got sucked into that for months, and I was like, I gotta make Minecraft content. I can't be playing Animal Crossing for months.
Yeah, it looks fun. I played it on the GameCube a long time ago when I had a GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty cool game. I don't know how much it changed from before. It's not really, though it kind of looks similar to Minecraft. It's a completely different game.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of it for the news. I want to bring up a listener comment from last week's episode about my repeater improvement, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's from Fragile Rock, and they state, so does just listen to episode 57, and in computer networking, there is a repeater that takes the weak Ethernet signal and repeats it at full strength. They are hardly known nowadays, but my guess is that's where the name comes from.
Mm.
1, thank you for that. 2,
yeah,
I don't care. Whoever named the computer component a repeater is also crazy. I think a repeater should repeat what goes on to. I get that's the name, and you're more than likely correct, and that's where the name for the redstone component came from.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
My problem is I see redstone components as electronics, such as a repeater is really just a diode and electronics with timeable abilities or whatever like that. Well, it's really a diode and capacitor put together, but either way, that's the way I see it, so it's weird for me to think repeater, but it doesn't repeat at all.
Yeah, I can't think of repeater any other way but the Minecraft way.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat means another thing in that game. Takes on a different meaning. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't really repeat the signal. It enhances it, like the repeater in the computer. So he's kind of right in that sense. That is what it does, but the word repeat is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
To what it does.
No, I am almost 100% sure Fragile Rock is correct, and that's probably where the name came from. It just confuses me, and I think it would confuse new people to Minecraft to go, well, it's a repeater. Why doesn't it repeat? Oh, it boosts. I'm not saying change the name. It's kind of too late for that.
Change it to booster.
Yeah, it's way too late for that now. But maybe adding a new repeating feature could be cool.
Mm-hmm. Those are hard to think of, remember?
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, let's not go down the redstone road. I think you guys chose redstone components just to mess with me.
I'm sure.
All right, but this week's Discord ad is going to come from me, Jason. Again, if you guys want to record some ads and everything for us, just let me, Carl, or Jimbo know. We'll get you hooked up with a script, let you know what you need to do, and we'll get you on the show. Take it away, me, Jason.
Hey friends, it's me, Jason, and I'm a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to talk to your fellow listeners and give your input into the show. You might even get your question or comment read out on a future episode. Join the Discord today. Link is in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Duds 100% this message.
All right. Thanks again, Jason. That timing worked out perfectly. As soon as we stopped talking for the ad to play, the motorcycle just rev, 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 and I was just like, come on, man.
Great timing.
Well, in this one, again, it's raining outside. They're riding motorcycles. It's like it was bright and sunny all weekend. Didn't go outside once, but raining outside.
Can't get a break.
Can't get a break. Anyways, going back to our Discord, the fan favorite of our Discord is Block of the Week. This week, we guys ask you to choose between a scaffolding, bell, and weighted pressure plates.
And the winner of Block of Week this week is Bell. Congratulations to you, Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pretty large margin. The bell had 28 votes, scaffolding with 17 votes, and pressure plate with 5. Poor pressure plate.
Poor pressure plate. They heard what I had for a repeater. They're like, we don't want Duds talking about redstone components anymore.
No. Few things about the bell. It is a transparent animated block entity that produces a sound when used. It can wake up villagers when they are sleeping. It's found naturally near the center of villages. Mined only with a pickaxe. It'll break with anything else. If a bell is rung in a raid, enemies within 32 blocks will have a glowing effect. That, I think, is the coolest part.
And that's the part where I went into my improvement. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of credit to J-Man because his bell fix and my bell fix were pretty close. And I sat there and I went, oh man, a bell. How do you improve a bell? I mean, it ding-dongs, right? That's what bells do. You really can't make it any better. But it's the fact that they added the glowing effect to enemies within 32 blocks. And I went, wait a second. Tipped arrows can also do that, right? You can add the glowing effect, the spectral arrows. So what if you shoot a bell with a tipped arrow, and that then causes for 32 blocks, enemies will get that effect? It could be really cool because, well, it might be a little OP now that I'm thinking about it, because I would just immediately put up a dispenser with a bunch of arrows in there, and then observers looking at each other, so it's just going bang, 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 just hitting the bell over and over again.
Yeah.
With like harming arrows or whatever. So yeah, it might be a little overpowered. But I think that would be really cool. And it would give you another reason to have tipped arrows on you. Because again, I think tipped arrows are totally forgotten about.
Yeah, they don't get used too often. But at least you can get spectral arrows now in bastions.
Yeah.
So people are actually able to get them and use them now. You know, a lot of people didn't know how to make them. You know, what's the point?
I still don't know how to make them.
I think it's with glowstone. I think it's just an arrow and glowstone.
Really?
I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will post a link on how to craft these arrows afterwards. And guys, don't worry. As soon as we're done with the show, I'm going to go look and see how to craft these things.
Well, this is stuff we should know.
But that leads back to how useless this feature is. It's a cool feature. It was a great idea. It went well with a combat update. But really, other than a PvP minigame where randomized loot pops in the chest, it has no bearing in survival Minecraft except for maybe spectral arrows.
Yeah.
The health one was a little cool because you could just shoot something to heal it. But at the same time, you're shooting something with an arrow that doesn't comprehend I mean, I guess if me and you were fighting or whatever and I saw you getting hurt, I could shoot you with an arrow, but then I could miss and then hit whatever's killing you and heal them up.
Yeah, there wasn't much. I mean, I really couldn't think of much. I do, on the other hand, I like that glowing effect.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could have it in other ways. What other ways do you get it? You get the bell and the spectral arrow, right?
I think that's the only two ways.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have another way to get that. I suggested a while ago with like the bat mob,
Mm-hmm.
they could drop some kind of, I don't know, some kind of item drop to where that could give you that sonar ability, even though it's probably not called sonar ability. I think someone told me that. I don't know. I forget what it's really called.
Yeah.
I know bats have the ability to see in the dark through sound waves, but yeah, it'd be cool to somehow use that ability in another way, not just with the bell or the spectral arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not sure how.
Yeah. It's coming to the point where this is where I want Mojang to get creative and do some fantasy playing. Like, hey, everyone thought we were getting nether boats. Instead, we got striders. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
One, I didn't plan on really using nether boats. Granted, I think the nether boats may have been a little bit more useful than striders, such as when I died on stream to lava and I had to go back and get my netherite gear. I ended up just taking a fire resistance potion and plopping into the lava.
Mm-hmm.
Having a boat to swim around in would have been way easier. And yes, I could have gone and got a strider, but there weren't any near me, and I had to get a fungus on a stick to control it. And
Gotta get a saddle.
yeah, being able to just craft a boat and throwing it in the lava would have been a lot faster and easier.
Yeah.
But I like the delving on the fantasy stuff, even if it kind of hurts a little bit. More fantasy will lead to cooler features, I think. Like we're saying here. I wish we could get the glowing effect with more than just arrows and a bell. Well, what if you could bottle lightning? How cool would that be to be able to have a splash potion of bottled lightning and you could throw it? And granted, you kind of have it with the trident, but you got to wait for it to be raining.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think the tipped arrows having the 32 range effect, while being a little overpowered, isn't so overpowered it's outlandish. And I think it's kind of a natural progression.
Yeah, there's a lot of times we come up with better solutions days after. I've done that.
Yeah, that's happened a couple times. We're like, wow, man, why didn't we say this?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we're big dummies.
I've been wanting to say it for a long time. You know what? I'm going to say it now.
Go for it.
The cake. We brought up cake a while ago. How to change the cake. The only way I would change it, to be honest, might not be a popular opinion, but take the redstone out of it. Why is cake giving off a redstone signal? I don't know. I mean, you take slices out of it and it gives you a redstone signal for whatever reason. I know they can be helpful or whatever, but it doesn't really make sense. And I know a lot of things don't, but cake giving off redstone. Now that I think about it, that probably shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, but then you go to lecterns giving off redstone signal. That's almost the same thing.
Yeah, it's similar.
But I want lecterns to give off redstone signal. I can agree with the cake one a little bit. I don't really think I've seen anyone actively use cake and redstone. And guys, I get there's probably someone out there who made a redstone contraption that uses cake as a signal strength thing. But when I say actively, you're not seeing it like the target block now. The target block, we're like, okay, that's cool. You can shoot it and it gives off a little redstone signal. The target block's being used in so many different redstone builds lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's a great universal redstone block now. Cake's not being used like that.
Yeah, I see target blocks pretty often now. And I like to know what the whole thing is. There's something special it does. I don't know if it gives a faster tick, but I don't know.
No, I think it's just a way to push a signal through a block that you wouldn't normally be able to do without a repeater.
Okay.
I saw Tango's episode today, which will be Monday for those of you who are listening. And he had this little filter thing, and it used a target block. And I was just like, how is he using the target block? Because again, I haven't built anything redstone with the target block yet.
Me neither.
So the only thing I could think of is, well, he's trying to pass a redstone signal without using a repeater or comparator to push the signal through a solid block. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure someone will let us know.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious.
Me too, because it looks like it's a very useful thing.
Yeah, just got to figure out in what way.
Yeah. Should we go ahead and move on to the topic?
Yeah, I think we covered what we could. A blog of the week.
A couple weeks ago, we went over our top 5 likes and dislikes for 116.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah, probably. And our plan was to go back to 116 when 117 was going to be announced.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hit it a little early.
Yeah.
We've both been in 116 for over a month now. So we've been able to do a good bit of stuff. Not everything. Like Piglin bartering, neither one of us has been able to really do much with that yet. I know we both plan on doing stuff with it. We just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, and these are our top 5 likes and dislikes before even really experiencing these.
We're not changing the list up. The list is going to stay the same. We're just going to comment on where we place things, such as in my top 5 top 5 likes from 116, my number 5 is Respawn Anchor. I got really excited for the Respawn Anchor. Since 116, I've not used a Respawn Anchor once, so I'd move it.
I used it day 1. That's because I didn't have a choice at one point.
Of course, every single one of my deaths this season have been in the Nether. I've been in not any other biome, and I've yet to use a Respawn Anchor. But that again shows you how much I really think about the Respawn Anchor.
Yeah, and it's not going to save you from deaths. It'll just put you closer.
Yeah.
To where you died.
And I never know where I'm going to die. I do a lot of traveling in the Nether. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, my Nether sense of direction isn't very good. It's getting better, now that the biomes are different, but it's not very good.
Most of the time when I die in the Nether, it's to lava. So I'm having to go get a fire resistance potion anyways. So me respawning right back next to where I die wouldn't do me any good anyways.
Yeah, it's true.
Go ahead, Jimbo. What's your number 5 like from 116?
My number 5 like at the time was Bastions.
Mm-hmm.
And I still love the way they look. I was able to get the pig step disc, which is just as good as advertised. I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, the new structures are cool. We didn't get to mess with the brutes yet. They are in the Bastions. They're the ones that guard the chests and the gold. So haven't got to play with those yet. I don't know if I'd move Bastions out of my top 5 because they're still really cool. They're where you get the cool loot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've done a few. Some were harder than others, but it's not so bad without the brutes. I'll keep you posted when I go in with the brutes.
Yeah, I haven't stepped foot into one except for the first day where me and Dev walked into one and immediately was attacked and ran out screaming. So, yeah, there's that.
But they look cool.
They do look cool. Number 4, I put Nether Gold. I would probably put this a little bit higher on the list now, mainly because I've explored all the biomes and all that kind of stuff. I'll talk about that later. Nether Gold has come in handy for me to find gold. I have found more gold in the Nether than anywhere else when I'm doing quartz hunting. So, Nether, really good source of gold, really good idea. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I said really a lot right there. I'd keep Nether Gold definitely in my top 5.
The gold nuggets that you get a good bit out of those when you mine those. You're not getting, it's not like an ore where you have to smelt it. You're getting the nuggets that can be crafted into ingots right away.
I got 9 out of one of them.
Yeah, it's a great way to get gold, even just mining the ores.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 is piglins.
Mm-hmm.
All together because of the animations and the trading stuff you can do with them.
Yeah,
I think I could definitely stick by that. The piglins are as cool as advertised. Yeah, at the beginning when we started in the Nether, they're definitely deadly.
Yes.
If you don't have gold on, but I don't mind the fact that I have to wear gold around them. I know it can be a little annoying sometimes. I know it could be annoying for you.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can't wear netherite and them be okay with that because there is gold in netherite. I wish that was a thing, but it's not. Besides that, yeah, piglins at 4, not too bad.
I've got piglin bartering at 3. I have not been able to do anything with piglin bartering, so I'm just going to kind of skip that one.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Jimbo? What's your number 3?
The biomes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the different biomes. And apparently I got the advancement where I've been through all of them.
Same.
Just flying around. But yeah, I get to see them all. Again, the basalt deltas are very hard to traverse.
Mm-hmm.
The soul sand valleys are easy if you have soul speed boots, to be honest. You can just run past everything. Nothing can really get you, even the gas. You're moving way too fast.
Yeah, skeletons are slow too.
Yeah, they're on the soul sand. The soul soil doesn't give you that slowness, though. You can walk fine on the soul soil. Yeah, you got the wooded areas,
Mm-hmm.
the trees. I'm kind of digging the trees a little bit more than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
The wood, I didn't really like the wood types, but they do have their uses. The blue wood, or the bluish green wood, is one of my favorites. Love that color.
Oh yeah, same here. The stripped bark version.
Yep, the stripped ones. And the sounds also in the biomes, just as good as advertised. It always makes for a great experience.
I have biomes as my number 2, or had biomes as my number 2. I think I would switch it with nether gold in this thing, and it's not a diss to the biomes at all. I think they're very cool. I think the basalt deltas is still the best looking biome. On the way to our Withering Effect Wither farm, Jimbo's built a glass bridge through a basalt delta, and it's absolutely stunning to walk through.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, every time I walk into a crimson forest, my heart locks up a little bit because it's 1, am I wearing gold? 2, is that a hoglin I hear or a piglin?
Sometimes hard to distinguish the two, grunts or snorts.
Yeah, once the prettiness wears off on you, it's just another biome and it's just out to kill you. So nether gold is way more effective in my likability than the biomes were.
Yeah, and they all have something deadly in them. Even the blue ones, they call it the peaceful one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Endermans are pretty plentiful there, so you still got to be careful there.
Yeah, my nether tunnel goes through a warped forest, and I have 3 or 4 Endermen all the time on my tunnel, and I'm just like, how am I going to make a piratey looking tunnel that's Enderman spawn proof?
Yeah, I like to see that. My 2 is netherite.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I'm digging it. I mean, again, it's not a big jump from diamonds, but there's been times where I died in lava and not lose my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's all sitting there right there floating for me. That's always cool. I did die in the void and lost all my netherite stuff, and it was just as heartbreaking as anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're valuable when you get thrown into a deep state of depression when you die with it in the void.
Yeah.
It has been a lot of fun to mine, though. It's really rare. It's hard to find. I go to level 15 in Instamine with my pick. That's mainly how I do it. If I have the TNT, I'll make a big 2x1 tunnel until I hit lava, and then I'll place TNT down 2 blocks apart and blow them up that way. You can find them a lot more that way, a little bit quicker, but it's a lot neater and a lot cleaner to do it with the pickaxe. And I found plenty of netherite. And I have it on all my stuff, and I have backup netherite. I'm ready to go with the netherite.
I don't have any more netherite. I'm out. Netherite is my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you said, I've died in lava. And the netherite armor and tools and everything were still there, minus the elytra, obviously. And I lost an axe, but it was because I couldn't find the axe in the lava. And it despawned because of time. Yeah, my only complaint is I wish stuff that fluted, whatever you want to say. Things that float a little bit higher, so they're a little bit easier to see. The netherite texture against nether brick is really hard to see, especially when 3/4 of the items under water or liquid height, if you want to call it that. No, I love netherite. I've died 2 times mining for the stuff, which is upsetting, but it's not as hard to get as I thought before. It is time consuming.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. And you destroy a ton of the nether. So you basically need to go a ways out away from everyone to get some.
I'm right under my portal.
That's where I'm planning on doing some more of mine too. But I'm not too far away from the nether hub, so.
Yeah. Well, I want to make my hub kind of down to the bedrock.
Ooh.
I don't know. Just going to bedrock everywhere. This is my bedrock season, I guess. My number 1 is Blackstone.
Is it still Blackstone?
Yeah, I might maybe put netherite above it. I don't know. It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Blackstone is still one of my favorite blocks. I still use it all the time. I use it in my witch hut build that I just did. You'll see that coming out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We used it in the Wither farm. We used it on the Withering Effect Studio. We used it in a lot of builds already, and
Yeah.
yeah, I really like it. I get a bunch of it every time I go looking for netherite. I try to grab as much as I can, and there's still a bunch ready to be mined, so I'm never going to run out.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not.
To add on to that, I'd put basalt up there with nether gold probably. I think the basalt textures are beautiful.
Yeah.
I really like this. Seeing those in person, we ended up using some in the Wither Skeleton farm design, and I'm just like, wow, I really wish we had stairs and slab versions of this. I can understand maybe not having a bricked version of it, because that'd be a little weird, but even just a slab version would be kind of cool, because if you do the polished basalt, how it has that really cool, what I call digital texture on top. If you could cut one of those blocks in half and have that like texture as the slab, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking block.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that block not having a stair texture because it'd be a little weird, but a slab version would be real cool.
You know what someone mentioned to me was how it's actually a tree. And I was like, thinking to myself, well, there's another tree, so this isn't a tree. Until you polish the basalt, you don't notice that, you know, that digital on the top, the digital design, it looks like bark from a tree. It looks like a tree when you polish the basalt. It's really weird, and it makes me think now that it's like a gray tree trunk. I don't know if you ever saw it like that.
I mean, I always pictured it as like the stalactites or whatever it is in caves.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I always saw it and it looks like a grayish tree. I plan on using a ton of basalt in my mountain terraforming.
Yeah.
Or I should say texturing. I'm trying to not say terraforming because I know that upsets people because I'm not changing the atmosphere or whatever in Minecraft. But you don't know. You don't know Minecraft atmospheres.
You never know. You know?
Never know.
Never know.
Yeah, but I'll be texturing the mountain with a lot of basalt, a little bit of blackstone, and a lot of andesite and cobble. So I think I need to build a cobblestone generator. Be using that a little bit.
Yep.
Well, we still have time. Let's go ahead and do our top 5 dislikes from 116. I'll let you start this time.
Okay, my number 5 was non-tameable hoglins. Couldn't tame them. They're always mean to you. And yeah, I guess I don't know. You kind of see why you can't ride them. They can be peaceful with the hoglins or piglins at times, but you know sometimes they do get killed by the hoglins or piglins. But I don't know. I got mixed feelings about that. I guess you don't have to. I'm not real worried about it now. To get tameable hoglins, they do turn into zoglins in the real world, so you couldn't really take them outside anyway. I don't know.
No. Kill all the hoglins. Kill them all.
Yeah, they are a pain.
I don't think I've died to one other than the first day when I was murdered by one in spawn and kept getting spawn killed by one. Other than that, the problem is they'll hit you and you'll lose like half your hearts, and then it's some other random thing that kills you.
Yeah, they get you down. That's another good thing about the netherite gear we didn't really touch up on is, or you can't use knockback against it.
Yeah, it's knockback resistant 1.
Yeah, so if the hoglins were to hit you, you're not going to go very far. It also helps if your friend wants to be a troll and knock you off of a cliff.
Yeah.
When you're crouching, look over here. You crouch over the cliff and the friend knocks you into the hole. That could help out there too.
We call that a bloop.
Is that what we call it?
We call it a bloop. I call it a bloop, so we're going to call it a bloop. Guys, we need to make bloop a thing.
Call it a bloop.
Jimbo's like, whatever, man.
It's a bloop then.
My number 5 dislike was shroom light. My only complaint was we needed more light sources, but not yellow.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, I love the shroom light. It has replaced glowstone and redstone lamps for me. Unless I need something to turn on and off with the redstone signal, I put a shroom light there now. It used to be I would use a redstone lamp to light up just random stuff, like the block under chests. I always try to put a light underneath the bottom chest near the floor, so as a way to hide lighting. That used to be a redstone lamp or a sea lantern. It's a shroom light now. I built this little archway on my A-frame house to put shroom lights, just because I thought it would look cool. I'm fine with them being the way they are, though I would like some more light sources that aren't yellow, but shroom lights are okay. They would not be on the dislike list anymore.
Yeah, I like the shroom lights. I've used them a few times, not many times, and if anything, change glowstone. Keep the shroom lights.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 dislike was the nether wood, because I didn't feel like the colors were practical for builds.
Man, were you wrong.
I'll tell you that I was wrong. There's definitely different ways to use it. And I kind of figured this was going to happen. You know, people were going to use it in so many cool ways. Just wasn't thought of at the time. But yeah, I've used the warped wood many times. In my starter base, I used it. Goes great with sandstone.
Goes great with bone block.
Yeah, it goes great with the bone block, blackstone. And again, it's wood. So if you can't use it for the color, you know, make chests out of it. You can make sticks out of it. You know, you can use it for crafts. So that probably wouldn't be there either.
I still haven't really fallen in love with the crimson color yet, but you're right. The warped wood, I love that color. Especially when I saw you use it with sandstone, I went, oh, such a great idea. It looks so good.
Yeah, the strip variant definitely is my favorite.
My number 4 was smithing tables, and I still feel like we got cheated out on smithing tables. Yeah, they're good for upgrading netherite armor and keeping your enchantments and everything like that. But I was really, really hoping to get the ability to take a chest plate and attach an elytra to it. Really thought that that's what that table could do. Way wrong. It's got one functionality, and it's one of the most boring tables in the game other than the fletching table. And that's because fletching table does literally nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't give you much. You know, just that one thing. I mean, that one thing's great. Everyone's going to use it. But I mean, like, again, you don't need netherite. Maybe many people never make a smithing table. But
right.
Yeah, it only does that one thing. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. The elytra connection for the chest plate, that would be cool.
I saw a post about Vanilla Tweaks adding that to one of their data packs.
Oh, wow.
And that will definitely be a data pack. If I ever go back to my single player world, I add on there.
My number 3 dislike was the Strider. Basically because I said I'll never use it. And I stand by that. I don't think I'm ever going to ride one of those things. I might do it for fun. Like maybe if I need something for a video, I can go out and try to, you know, tame a Strider. It looks hilarious when people are riding them. I love it. Just the F5 view of them riding a Strider is one of the funniest things.
In my head, when you see them bounce left and right, I'm just going chugga 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 chugga.
Yeah, it's like a chugga chugga, like a little choo-choo train. Yeah, just striding along. I mean, they're not that bad. You know, this is dislikes of some things that I don't necessarily dislike, just want changes. But yeah, the Strider's there at number 3. I'm not sure if it'd be a dislike, but I just feel like I'm never going to use it still.
Yeah. My number 3 is twisting and weeping vines. As much as I dislike scaffolding, I'm using scaffolding more than I'm using these things. That being said, for decoration, yeah, they're great. They look pretty. We used the twisty vines in the wither killing chamber. Looked great. Looked awesome. But at the same time, using it to climb up and down, it would be one of those emergency situations where I didn't have any other way. And most of the time in the nether, I just look around. Okay, there's not a piglin. I put on my elytra and I fly away. I don't bother scaffolding up and down in the nether. So real quick, yeah, they're pretty, but their functionality is kind of meh.
Yeah, and they are spawnable.
Yeah.
Found that out hard way. Yeah, even though you can use them for decoration, they're still spawnable. Make sure they're lit up. I kind of feel the same way. I'm not really going to use them unless for decoration.
Yeah.
Maybe a little terraforming, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I should put out there, weeping vines. The texture for the weeping vines is really nice. I'd like to see the regular vines, the green version you find in swamps and jungle trees, to have more of a weeping vine texture, but green.
Yeah, that'd be cool. My number 2 dislike was Soul Speed.
Mm-hmm.
The enchantment altogether. I didn't think it had great pros for the cons.
Yeah.
But now I love Soul Speed. I have Soul Speed 2 on my gold boots. My gold boots are my go-to armor for going into the nether. And why not have Soul Speed on them? And again, if I go into the Soul Sand Valley, I'm cool. I'm covered. Like, no one's going to catch me. And yeah, I can just go in and out. Pretty safe with those boots on. In case you're cornered, nowhere to run, but it's usually somewhere to go. Yeah, I love them. And I notice in certain tunnels, sometimes there's soul speed paths where people put down a line of soul sand where you can just run on that. I always take that path with my gold boots because, you get there faster.
Yeah.
Don't have to fly.
Yeah, that's down the south tunnel. I don't have soul speed, so I have to walk on the other side.
Yeah, that's our tunnel, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have soul speed, and I put it as my number 2 also. If I put it on my top 5, it would probably be number 5 now. I don't hate it as much. I got to use it a little bit the first day. When you told me that, hey, it might be a good idea to put it on nether boots instead of me using a nether shirt.
Yeah.
As I put a diamond chest plate on so I could keep my wings and fly away. Because that's been my biggest problem. I've died more times from the fact that I forgot that I took my elytra off than lava, per se. Mm-hmm. So it would probably be better for me to choose a different armor. I still don't like the fact that we have to switch armors and everything like that. But yeah, soul speed, I probably don't hate it as much now, even though I haven't really used it. But it's just kind of one of those things, meh, whatever.
Yeah, I understand that.
Number 1.
My number 1 is we have to wear gold now.
Yeah.
That was my biggest dislike about 1.16. You have to wear gold in the nether. Yeah, it is a pain. I always keep my gold boots right inside my ender chest so I can hurry up and put them on if I need to. Sometimes you can go through without putting them on. Make sure to avoid the crimson, though. You don't want to get ganged by a bunch of piglins. That will happen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pain. Like you said, it's not. I don't know. I just got netherite. Why can't netherite be okay?
It doesn't feel like a feature. It feels like a hassle.
Yeah, it does.
And I 100% agree with you. I have a gold chest plate, which is in my inventory 24/7, which stinks because now I've lost an inventory spot. Yeah, I could put it in my ender chest, but that means as soon as I walk into the nether or getting ready to walk into the nether, I have to put an ender chest down, and then I have to pull out this chest plate, then I got to put it on and break the ender chest to pick that back up. It's just like, 1, this is why we need backpacks or some kind of inventory fix. 2, like you said in the beginning, me and you've been talking about this forever. You have to make netherite with gold. Why doesn't the netherite texture kind of show that off a little bit, and maybe that will keep you from being hunted down by piglins? Honestly, I think it should scare piglins off, except for maybe the brutes. I think the brutes should still attack you. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be fair. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, brutes they're oblivious of the gold anyway, so.
Yeah, brutes don't scare about anything. My number 1 is the rarity of netherite. This has obviously changed. I would probably put this as number 2 or 3 because I don't think the rarity is as bad as I thought it was going to be. That being said, I have no netherite. My 4 scraps have been used to replace the axe I lost. But it's literally just a time thing. Kind of like diamonds. It's like, oh, well, I need diamonds. It's like, okay, well, if you put an hour into hunting diamonds, you're going to walk away with a good bit of diamonds. If you're going to put an hour or 2 in getting netherite, you're probably going to walk away with a decent amount of netherite. Definitely not as much as you would with diamonds, but you're going to walk away with enough netherite to at least do something.
Yeah.
That being said, the netherite block looks so good. Ancient debris looks so good, but you really can't use them because they're so rare. And the lodestone, the best new looking block in the game, requires netherite. So
Yeah, and I think I'm on board with you almost with the lodestone being the best looking block. I've made a couple of them, and man, that is a pretty looking block.
They found a way to give it a 3D texture without it being 3D.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks almost 3D. I did have the Gilded Blackstone was one of my favorites coming out. I think the lodestone might go above that.
That's right. Lodestone fan club.
We're probably not going to use it as much because it has that netherite ingot within it.
Yeah.
Still expensive.
Well, I mean, I've already come out and said my theme for the season's pirate themed. So I definitely have a couple things I want to make using a lodestone. Why would you need a lodestone? Oh, maybe because you're going to bury some treasure somewhere and you should have a compass that finds it. So that will be a thing.
But I think we made it through.
We made it through the show.
Yeah.
And the show is about as long as it normally would be with the pre and post show. So
that always happens.
It always happens. You told me. I was like, man, dude, I don't think we're going to have enough topics to talk about on the show. We're going to have a real short show. And you're like, that's when our show runs the longest.
Always.
And it did. Always happens that way. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for us today. But before Jimbo reads it out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our Patreons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are aubni, Crock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, TheOfficialCCL, viperoustuna, and YDYT. If you too would like to get access to the exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like this show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome, like always. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. Go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.